Yes, you read that right. Project 2025 said in the mid-90s that by 2025, we expect to see, or we would like to see, depending on how you interpret this, smart ID cards in everybody's hand, universally showing their religious and organizational affiliations.
All right, guys, brace yourself for the bombshell video in the series now. This is the one where you get the intelligence outfits that are predicting major global climactic events, catastrophic events, and then the group from the 1990s calling themselves, of all things, Project 2025, saying that they're predicting universal smart ID cards with your religious affiliation.
The Deagle Corporation is a major intelligence outfit, an intelligence corporation. I say major because they were cited by Stratfor, which is the top global private intelligence outfit that there is. They provide intelligence for entities in the U.S. government and with the NSA and so on. So these are not small fry players. They stated a few years ago that 2025 we'd see a population reduction in America from 327 million at the time down to 100 million. So like 2/3 drop in population. And same thing with GDP, gross domestic product, from 60,000 per year per person to 25,000. So massive collapse of the financial system and population. And that reminds me also, as we're talking about starvation and global crisis and World War III scenarios, there was the ODNI, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. In 2008, they put out a report, and they are, by the way, the ODNI supervises all 18 known intelligence agencies of the American national security system. And they put out a publication called Global Trends 2025, A Transformed World. They did this in 2008. And they predicted the collapse of the Western financial system, which these guys, Deagle.com, were doing as well. And they're doing Global Trends 2025. So they're saying collapse of the Western financial system by 2025, which is exactly what we're seeing in Technocracy, that they are cueing and signaling and perhaps trying to bring about. The rulers of this world are coming to nothing, the Bible says, put not your trust in princes. They also state, this is interesting for prophecy students, in this ODNI document, Global Trends 2025, they say that secularism will actually fall and religious powers and entities will rise, and liberal democracy or freedom will fall, i.e. authoritarianism will rise. Does that sound like Revelation 13? With a fall in secularism and a rise of religious entities and movements and organizations. A rise of religious entities, organizations, and movements coming together like a threefold union in a time of waning and receding freedom to eventually enforce an oppressive law. I think we're getting closer to that time, my friends. Especially when you look at the last two of these 8. We saw the first 6 were just kind of like, you know, massive global crisis, a convergence of crises. This one shows the control grid. Universal monitoring of business transactions. And smart ID cards, but not just any smart ID cards, that include your religious affiliation. Yes, you read that right. Project 2025 said in the mid-90s that by 2025, we expect to see, or we would like to see, depending on how you interpret this, smart ID cards in everybody's hand, universally showing their religious and organizational affiliations. I've got the picture from the book with my underlining and star and circling. Identification cards will be universal. Smart cards will contain information such as nationality, medical history, perhaps even key data from one's genome, educational employment records, financial accounts, social security, credit status, and even religious and organizational affiliations. So in a time of cyber attacks, mass starvation, world war, they're saying expect the rollout of universal monitoring of all business transactions and smart ID cards that identify your religious affiliation. Revelation 13 is coming.